I'm here today with Justin from Homestead Refuge and his kids from Homestead Refuge Kids, and I encourage you to check out their channels. I'll put links in the description so you can find those. We're here today to check on the hives that I dropped off here a few weeks ago. We also have already gone to the swarm traps we put up as part of our test to see which the bees prefer between lemongrass oil or Swarm Commander. So far we haven't really seen any bees interested in those swarm hives, but it's still a little early in the season. The ones with Swarm Commander we rebaited with new vials of Swarm Commander. Those are supposed to last about 3 weeks, so we put a little Swarm Commander on the front of each of those hives and dropped a new vial inside. The slow release lemongrass tubes should last throughout the whole season, so we didn't add a new tube, but we did, just to be consistent, spread a little lemongrass oil on the front of those. So now we'll watch as we get further into swarm season to see which one the bees like. Now we're going to get into the hives. There's a few things that we are particularly looking for today. First, because we are getting into swarm season, we're going to be looking to see if these two hives seem to be preparing to swarm. They may be filling up their cells with nectar, so the queen should be drawing back on laying brood. They may be producing drones, and they might have some queen cells. And while we're in there, if they're starting to make that progress towards swarming, I expect that today we'll probably split these colonies, at least make one split from each of them. If we find queen cells, we might make a few more, because once we find queen cells, it's time to split them right away, or we're gonna lose a colony to a swarm. So that's what we're looking for today. Justin, you ready to get in there?
Yeah,
All
I think
right.
it's gonna be an exciting day. I know the kids are looking forward to it too.
Let's get into it.
Can you make them 3 different splits if you had
can.
to?
I've successfully split to both ends.
Yeah.
Last year I had one colony I tried splitting to 3, and it didn't, and that's one case. You can't say one case is a study, but in that case they didn't do as well.
Okay.
I'm not sure exactly why.
How many frames is it total?
The whole hive is 20 frame.
Okay.
And I don't remember how many frames we left.
So it'd only be like
there.
6, 6, 6 plus a spacer or something?
Yeah. But if we split, we'll probably bring them down to 5, maybe 6 frames.
Okay.
Yeah, and I brought some extra frames with foundation, not a lot, so hopefully we'll have enough to do whatever we need to do. And I think we had some extra frames in the hive too.
I think there was.
It's best if we can find the queen. We'll move her to the opposite end. She can start laying right away and they'll have the population. But they're gonna lose the foragers, which are all gonna be going back to this end. So when I split, you would kind of like split the difference there, have one half gets the queen, the other half gets the foragers. And that's kind of the way I go now. Like I say, if we find some queen cells, we may make a couple more splits, and then I brought a couple boxes.
Yeah.
We can try to split 3 ways, or I may throw some into a box and take them back with me. Once we split, I'll probably come back in about a week and a half or so.
Okay.
And see how many queen cells they have, and we may harvest some of those queen cells to make some additional smaller splits.
Yeah.
Pretty good amount of bees in there.
Dang, that's way more than last time.
Yeah, that's what we want to see. We want to see their population building up. Do you remember what all that sticky stuff is called?
No.
That's propolis. They make that out of tree sap.
Is that new honeycomb over on that side?
No, this is these frames we pulled out last time. This one is an old frame that the comb had collapsed.
Okay.
Wow.
And they don't, when it's in this open end, they don't really build much to it. You'll see them crawling around on it and everything, but they don't really do much with those. The only time I've seen them do anything with them is when they run out of space on the other side.
Gotcha. So that side over there really shouldn't even had bees in it because it's not open.
Well,
but
the
still
gap
can get over there.
The divider board, I leave a gap of at least 3/8 inches underneath that divider board, so they can pass underneath.
Gotcha. But the entrance is over on this side.
Right.
So. Oh yeah, look at all those bees. So what are we looking for, a queen?
We will kind of keep our eye open for the queen, because if we make splits, it's easier to know which way she goes.
What's that? That one's big.
That is a drone.
And the drones are?
The drones are the male bees. So there, we got the honey at the top. We got, you see all that nectar down through there? See it's shiny in those cells? So that's nectar that the bees are storing. They'll make that into honey. And they got kind of the same stuff on the other side. But you asked me why the drones don't sting when I was trying to grab them.
Yeah.
That's because the drones can't sting.
Oh.
They don't have stingers. And the drones are louder too. You hear when that drone was flying? You hear how loud it was buzzing? What do we see on there?
Honey.
Nope. Well, there's honey at the top.
Cap. Or
Cap?
cap brood.
Yep. Lots of cap brood on there. Pretty much a full frame of cap brood with some honey on the top. You see up in this corner, you see the larvae in there? Looks like little worms curled up in there. Yep, that's larvae. I gotta turn this for a second because it's easier to see eggs when the light is shining into the cells. Yeah, these cells here have eggs in them. I don't know if it's hard to see when the sun's behind them, but these cells up here have eggs. You remember the eggs look like tiny grains of rice?
Yeah, I can see that.
So when we split, if we don't know where the queen is, as long as both sides have eggs or very young larvae, like less than 3 days old, then they can make a queen.
Oh, there's drone cells.
Yeah, lots of drone cells on there. One thing I haven't been looking for, we need to look on the bottom of these frames
It's dripping.
for a big cell that looks like a peanut. Here's a bunch of worker brood.
Oh, I saw one that looked
Capped
like a
worker
peanut.
brood. Did you?
Yeah, I thought it was on that one.
On this one?
On that one.
Oh, on that one? Okay, we'll get to that one in a second.
What's that?
When they make swarm cell, if it looks like a peanut, it's a queen cell. And they usually, when they're getting ready to swarm, they will usually build the queen cells at the bottom of the comb. You see this little cell right here, kind of bumping out of the side, it's open at the bottom. That's what we call a queen cup. So that could be the start of a queen cell, or sometimes it's almost like they just make them for practice. They might make a queen cup and then never do anything with it.
Is that a worker bee?
That's a drone right there.
Drone.
See how light and fuzzy it is? That's a new one that just emerged. Here's a worker bee that kind of white, light and fuzzy. She just emerged. Now this frame does have a lot of young brood on it. Pretty good place for the queen to be. And here she is. Hold on a second. Tell you what, come around behind me. I'll be able to see her better.
Oh.
She's right there.
Oh, it's a red thing?
Yeah, there's a little red on her back. That's a mark that I put there.
Oh. She's humongous.
Alright, so we know where the queen is. So now, we'll start our split.
So you're gonna put her all the way over on the
I'm
far
going to
side?
put this frame all the way over here, and then we'll kind of build our split around this frame. Would you take that frame and lean it up against those others?
Where's the
Thank
queen
you.
escape?
Oh, I'm not worried about that. She will pretty much stay there where we put her. That frame is the one that had a lot of young brood on it. Hopefully we'll have enough young brood that this other colony can make themselves a queen. This is a lot of honey. They need a honey frame on the end, so we'll give them that. This other frame is probably also a brood frame. Another way I could have moved that queen is I could catch her in a queen clip and just put her over there with that cap brood. We know where she is, so maybe we could find her again if we need to. This frame appears to have a lot of young brood on it. Well, we had that one frame that had eggs, that we confirmed they had eggs too, so we'll try to pull that one and leave it on this end. And this last frame up against the wall is almost always honey. Very heavy. Oh, look at that. They got cap brood all over that. Leave that one for them. We'll leave this one for them. This frame has a lot of young brood and covered with bees. It's hard to see in there. See if they have eggs or not. Now you said the June 6th.
Yeah.
Oh, there, she stung me.
So how bad does it hurt when they sting you?
You get used to it. And different places hurt different, you know.
You have more.
There's been sometimes I'll get stung like this meat up here doesn't seem too bad to me. Fingertip stings.
You just got more sensory on your fingertips.
Yeah, maybe.
So you're putting smoke on it so that they don't smell it.
Right. Two things. I put smoke on it because that covers up the scent of that sting location. So hopefully another bee won't smell that and try to sting the same spot, because that definitely happens.
Will that bee die that stung you?
Yep. And they also probably got irritated. There were so many bees in between these frames that a couple of them got crushed in between those frames. Actually, these frames didn't get pushed together. Sorry, I interrupted myself and forgot what I was saying.
Smoking to keep.
Oh yeah, so I smoked to kind of cover up the smell, but also, this is something that George DeLayan said in his book. As you're working the bees, smoke a cigar, and then, you know, hold that burning cigar tip close, because the heat helps with the sting pain apparently. So I also, you know, try to get a little heat from the smoker on there.
Yeah.
It seems to help. Is it just in your mind? I don't know.
Yeah, makes you not think about it as much.
I need to start carrying my pencil again. One thing I found that really helped me when I was inspecting hives, I started doing this last year, and then, you know, over the winter you kind of fall out of practice with things. But this one has all the cat brood. Is as I would inspect, like, so if a frame had, you know, was all honey, I'd just write in pencil on the top, you know, all honey or 80% honey or whatever.
Yeah.
See those bees bumping my hand? They're letting me know it's time to.
Yeah, they're bumping my net.
Time to move along. And so then that was good, because you work through, what do we have here? 8 frames. So you work through 8 frames, and just like I am right now, you get back and you're like, okay, of these frames I already looked at, I remember seeing these things, but I don't remember which one. But those little pencil notes on top really help, and then just put a little date next to them so you know. Okay, so this is a lot of cap brood. So we'll give this to the one with the queen. Oops. Felt the bee smash there. That doesn't help with unhappy bees.
The one that had a little peanut.
You think that's the one? Yeah, June 6th. So where'd you see that little peanut?
It was like in the middle, but to the left on one of the sides.
Oh, look at all that nectar dripping.
Right there.
Oh, you're right. Hey, good eye.
Is that it?
Oh, is that you're talking about right there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good eye. That's a pretty good, it's a queen cup. Let me look and see if there's anything inside of it. Need light. It's empty. There's nothing inside of it. These guys still need some space to build, because we're going to be getting into a nectar flow here. So we'll give them that one.
So it's kind of a balancing act. You don't want to give them too much space.
Right.
So you want to give them enough to expand a little bit.
And this colony is strong enough. I'm not too concerned about giving them too much space. It's when you have a colony that's a little weaker. If they have more space than they can cover, then you can have small hive beetles kind of start to take over.
Gotcha.
I haven't even seen a small hive beetle in here yet, so I'm not concerned, but they've got enough population. Can you give me a hand? Not back here, no, right where you're at, right where you're at. This entrance disc up here, can you turn that to open? This time of year, now that we're getting into a nectar flow, they can start building out comb pretty quickly. So we'll just go ahead. So they've got that frame with some comb to fill in. We'll give them an extra starter frame. So that's 7 on this end and 6 on this end, which is about right, because they aren't going to have any foragers. Yeah, so now I'm going to put these in.
You're putting the screws at the top?
I am now, because I don't want the bees passing in between
gotcha.
the colonies. So our population doesn't seem as big. Kind of interesting little cluster of bees right down there.
Yeah. What do you think that is?
I'm not sure. Well, they got a good population, got a lot of drone cells there.
You think you're going to split this one still?
Probably so.
You find the queen
while I'm here.
So are you just poking around seeing if there's a queen or something in there?
Yeah, just kind of trying to see, and I don't see anything in particular going on there.
You're a very daring man. You're just poking it with your bare hands.
Oh, you know, you just
the bear.
Pet your little friends.
Are those drones I can hear and kind of...
That one is, yeah. Yeah, the drones are noticeably louder.
Yeah.
It's a fitting name for them. I don't know why they were called drones originally. My first spring with bees, when the drones started flying, and kind of freaked me out in front of the hive, and it was me. I didn't know if there was like a beetle that was flying in or something. Oh, I didn't even look. Look at the other side of that board.
Oh wow. What's that?
That's a drone.
Those are drones. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a couple.
Drone. Yeah, there's a bunch of them in here. You know, there's an old beekeeper's trick. You know, when you're around a bunch of people or like your kids or whatever, and you know, grab a drone and pop it in their mouth, hold it in the mouth, and then open your mouth and let it fly away.
Yeah, they won't sting you.
Since they don't sting,
Yeah,
you know.
just make sure it's a drone, huh?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Need to know how to identify a drone, but
Or you get stung in the mouth.
yeah.
So that's a drone too, I guess.
Yep.
That's a big
Yep. There's a bunch of drone cells on here. We got some nectar in the top.
drone, I guess, right there. Yeah.
Uh-huh. It said at the bottom, they usually put the queen cells at the bottom, which is true, but if they have a gap at the side, or if there's like a gap in the middle, they might hang them in there as well. You see this stuff once in a while on top, right on those holes for the wire to go through. And that's, I'm not sure if it's wax moth or hive beetle. I think it's wax moth, but they'll lay their eggs there. I guess they kind of know that's a passage, you know, I guess they can probably smell, you know, but that's a way to get into the hive. Yeah.
And those are bad, I assume?
Hive beetles, if they get in, they'll ruin the honey. We call it sliming. It'll literally makes your comb all slimy. They get in, spoil the honey. Yeah, look at those bees covering.
Yeah, there's a lot of bees. Oh, is that nectar from that?
Yeah, that's nectar. And that's good. I mean, it shows that they're gathering nectar in.
Yeah, a lot of stuff's flowering.
Now here we got some cat brood.
It's funny to see that, like the one shaking, doing the dance.
Yeah, doing the waggle dance. When they do the waggle dance, they'll go in figure eights. Yeah, she's kind of doing that. So she's going the same direction again. Circle back around. But sometimes you'll see them, they'll go around, and I've heard them called cheerleader bees. That they'll go around, if there's a bee that's just sitting and doing nothing, they'll walk up to them and vibrate like that.
Huh.
And I saw one the other day. I was going through my hives and saw one. They'd walk through and vibrate, and then that bee would kind of start moving, so it'd go on to another, vibrate, and you'll kind of get each bee moving.
Stay busy, huh? Busy bee.
No rest.
You only got 45 days. You better make it productive.
Make the most of it. So this one, it's so covered with bees I can't tell really well, but it may be a candidate for making queens. It did have some larvae in there and probably brood at all stages. Couldn't really see eggs through the mass of bees.
Is that a...
Oh, that's a queen cell. Yeah, looks like it's got something in it.
So that's a good candidate to leave and split?
Yeah, we'll use that for a split.
Too bad the kids all took off because they got good eyes. They catch all that stuff. Theoretically, they could make a few queens, and if you had enough resources to split them up, you could split them up.
Oh yeah. Haven't seen my queen yet.
And the other one, she was second from the end, wasn't she?
Right.
But I mean, she could be cycling through it anywhere.
She could be anywhere, but it's pretty common as you work your way through that she'll move back away from the light. So it's not uncommon to find her on the last frame or second to last. Even if when you opened it, she may have been somewhere over here. They do a pretty good job of herding the queen back. And it's so interesting. I kind of mentioned when the kids here that I'd try to look. We got good light here to look. I'll kind of look down on that next frame because very often I'll see that queen on that next frame. And I've done that where going through a hive, I'll look, I move a frame, I look down and I see the queen. And then when I pull that frame, I look on the next one, oh, I see the queen. She just keeps moving farther and farther back. You don't have to look at every bee, but kind of scan with your eyes and look for what's different. There she is. So you see how the bees are kind of like jitterbugging around, and she's just kind of like, she moves through there like
checking each.
I don't know how best to describe it. More of a smoother, purposeful movement, not so much nervously running around. You see the bees around her. Look, see how that bee is kind of shaking her, kind of like I described the cheerleader bees, and that bee it just shook. So when they're getting ready to swarm, the bees will kind of keep the queen moving. You see how narrow you remember how the other queen, her abdomen, her back end was kind of wider, and how this one is narrow?
Yeah.
So before they swarm, when a queen is actively laying, her abdomen swells, and so she actually can't fly because she gets too big. She isn't physically in a position to be able to fly. So before they swarm, the bees basically put her on an exercise program and will keep her moving around. So number one, they stop preparing cells for her to lay in, and they'll start backfilling cells with nectar so she doesn't find a place to lay. But then number two, they'll like keep her moving to basically
trim her down
so that she's ready to fly when they swarm.
That's amazing.
And I think on this one, because they have that one queen cell, we might try doing 3 splits, but that is mainly honey and pollen. So we'll give that to the queen. Normally when you're moving frames around, like I took that frame, I basically kind of reversed those frames. I guess I could have just turned them and kept them the same sides together, which probably would have been better. As they build the comb, they'll have little curves and stuff. You kind of want that to match up. So typically you want your frames to be in the same sequence.
Right.
I've started the frames that I sell with my swarm traps are just on their own. I brand them all. So I brand Suburban Sodbuster on top of them so that you can tell, like, keep them facing the same way.
So you're going to leave one with the queen cell and some...
Yeah, so this is which one of our... Is that one with the queen cell?
I think so.
We'll see. See how bad my memory is? I'll start carrying a pencil. Yeah, so that's our cup and then the cell next to it. And they are really taking care of that cell, so it looked to me like there was a larvae in there. And the way they're taking care of it, and the way it's built out, really, it would be unusual that they would build the cell out that much. A queen cup, they'll build a cup and then abandon it, you know, build another somewhere else.
So then, when they don't use it, do they just like tear that down and recycle it, kind of?
Pretty much, yeah. And the same thing when the queens emerge, they'll tear those queen cells down and get rid of them. So because the foragers will be coming back to this end, even though I'm coming back, you know, we'll be coming back fairly soon, I'm going to leave them with 2 frames of starter comb. So they got the queen and 2 frames of empty comb and then 1 frame of starter comb. They've got the queen cell and the foragers and 2 frames of starter comb, and they've got nothing right now. Hopefully they'll make a queen, but they've got 1 frame of starter comb. This one should be good. This one I have good hopes for. This one we'll see how they do. We got the 2 hives inspected. As we expected, it kind of looks like they're starting to prepare for swarming. Both hives had a ton of drones and drone cells, and one of the hives had a queen cell, so they were probably about a week from casting a swarm. So we got the first hive split into 2, and I'll be checking back in about a week and a half. We'll be looking for queen cells in there. And the second hive, when we had a queen cell, we went ahead and made a split with that, but we also split that 3 ways. So now we'll see if we can make 3 colonies out of that one. Justin, any questions about the process we went through?
No, I'm excited to have a couple extra colonies and maybe catch a swarm in the next week or 2.
Yeah.
We'll be checking those.
So we're watching for that too. So exciting things going on here. We'll be back in about a week and a half to see how these splits are doing, and hoping for a good swarm season. Once again, check out the Homestead Refuge channel and also check out Homestead Refuge Kids. Links for those will be in the description. So until we get to that video, go ahead and check out this one that Google thinks you'll really like. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you next time.